Hey guys, here's my tutorial on how to play the song Saturn from Skillet's album, their first record. I think it was self-titled. I learned how to play it in the original key, and because John Cooper's voice is way higher than mine, I took it down about 3 steps and learned how to play it 3 steps down from there. So I'll give you the original key first for those of you who love it and want to play it in the key. If you just want to strum along, if you can't sing along, or if you have somebody that else that can sing along, or if you can both sing and strum along, here's the original key for you. The intro is kind of tricky because the way that they mixed it, I'm pretty sure it's just kind of 2 guitars being panned and kind of shooting out at varying times out of the speakers. And to try to redo that with 1 guitar is what I did here. So I just kind of came up with a strumming pattern that kind of sounded good enough and close enough to what was going on. I'll just play through the intro before, and I'll go into a little bit of the first verse, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about chords and how to make them and all that stuff. So if this is one of your first guitaring experiences, this is your favorite song you always wanted to learn how to play, that you remember back in the day, I'll help you with that, and then we'll get to where you're playing it well and all that by watching the video, flipping it back again, flipping it back again, flipping it back again, and playing it 80 times until it's finally solid and you've got the calluses on your fingers to so you're not hurting as your skin builds up, so it doesn't hurt so much when you play. So there's some pain involved, but it's worth it if you love the song and you want to play it for people and or yourself. So okay, here we go. And one other thing I should note about this is the intro is the timing's kind of awkward too. So I'm gonna give you something as good as I can give you to being close to what's going on the record, but not really being what's going on in the record. For example, I'm gonna play. I think the song's in 4/4 time. I think. Or at least it eventually transitions into 4/4 time. That intro might be in some weird time signature that I don't get, because there's sort of this shift feel when the cello comes in. In my brain, I can feel it. Maybe I'm listening to music long enough and I feel that time shift. It's sort of like to give it another comparison, the song He, if you listen to that by Jars of Clay, there's a transition that happens. I think that song is in an odd time signature as it is. But yeah, I feel the shift when that cello comes in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this first chord for 4 measures. Then I'll switch to the major for 4 measures, then another major for 4 measures, then the minor for 4 measures. I'll talk about it when I get done. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was the intro. I kind of gave it a consistent strumming pattern, so that kind of simplifies it a little bit. First chord is a second chord. In this course, it's a D for the song's original key. A D second to a D to an A to a B minor to a G to a D to an A to a B minor to a G, and then we go into the verse. There's your chords to note if you want to write things down. If you want, I have a chart that I'm following that I made myself for this song, with all the timings, there, because back in the church band I played in, it really helped to have those beats there so people knew when to change from a verse to a chorus and all that good stuff. But anyway, yeah, if you want that, just comment me in the video and I can send you that. The video and the double chin thing. Gotta love that. Okay. Yay for colds. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So what we're doing is the way that video kind of the way that the song sounds on the record is and that gave you a different way to play it. I just played it a little different, sort of leaving that E string open throughout the chords. Instead of the A, I played an A second, so if you want to get lazier with it. So anyway, slowly and with ease. Okay, the D2. First chord we're playing it for the first 4 measures. I'm reaching out with my middle finger to mute the E and A, while I have my pointer finger on the 3rd string or G string on the 2nd fret, and my ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret or B string. And there's your notes. Broken up. Then to a D. And that's just my middle finger on the E string on the 2nd. You could, if you're barring, you could just bar and then bring your middle finger on the B string, 3rd fret. If you want to learn how to play a D chord that way. Some people do it with 3 fingers, some people that way, but you're still playing the same notes, the same chord. It's just a different way of going about it. Okay, next chord is an A. So I'm reaching up with my pinky, since I have, I guess, rather large hands. I can reach up with my pinky, mute my low E, and hit all the strings below it open to do that. I guess if your ring finger's longer, you could learn to reach up with your ring finger and press down with your pinky that way, or even or do the A2 formation and just leave the pinky out of the equation entirely, and the ring finger and then the ring finger's reaching up and muting and doing that. So A or A2, you shouldn't sound terrible if you don't have that instead of, so it should be fine. To a B minor. Okay, straight B minor, muted. This finger's touching the low E string enough to mute it. Or you can, if you don't want to bar, you can do that. Or you could even lift this finger up, mute your low E with it, and technically you're playing a B suspended. You know, it's not going to clash if you were to play it that way too much. Depends on the group you're playing with, whether you should do the straight B minor or that B open chord to a G. A lot of times I've gotten in the habit of, when I hit the E string or 6th string on the 3rd fret, I usually just go ahead and reach down and mute my low A. And then I've got the B and E strings, or 1st and 2nd strings, 3rd fret. I guess I like the sound of that without that B note in it. There's another, I don't know. I just like it. I guess I'm technically cutting the 3rd out of the chord. and we're doing another E, A, B minor, and G pattern again before we go into the verse. So if you're just beginning, you're gonna definitely have to practice. Unfortunately, if you're gonna get that, you're gonna have that D2 to your D, to your A, to your B minor, to your G. And you can even do sort of open versions like the D2 and never go to the D. No, you can just... And all I'm doing in that G chord, instead of I'm just leaving the first and second strings, or E and B strings, open. I'm just and muting my low A. And that's not terrible. Like I said, if you're playing it by yourself especially, you can get away with these open chords just fine for the most part. As long as you can sing along, or somebody else can sing along, you're close enough. So we're going into the verse. Okay. Okay, anyway, I screwed up. Looked at page 3 when I should have been looking at page 2. So we're playing our D, A, B minor, G pattern throughout the verse, and then on the no matcher now we have an F chord. So let's go through some options for that F chord. An F, straight barred F chord, you know, an E chord. Maybe some of you do it this way. Same notes, just different way of pushing down the strings. We're just sliding that up one and barring every string that we just left on that first fret. And I sucked at bar chords when I started. It took me a while to get, you know, so I was playing them decent. It's just, you just keep going at it, keep doing it. You'll eventually get it. If you want a dirtier version, it's not dirtier, it's just different. Just open instead of having to do that bar. You're lifting your finger up, and all you're doing with your pointer is that. The only thing is you're leaving your your first and second, or E and B strings, are open, and it sounds like this. And that sounds okay, unless you're playing with a group, in which case you're going to need to figure out whether or is going to work better with your group. And then we move on to a C. And my ring finger can get up in that low E while it's holding down the A enough to mute it. If you don't have enough finger to do that, I don't know. Find a way to practice not hitting that low E. Sorry if that sounded a little too country for some people. Gosh, I don't even listen to that much country music, and I probably got more country in my playing than I want to admit. Anyway, there's a lot of good country songs up there. In fact, there's so many, all you gotta do is pick out your top 5 that you like and listen to those, and you can disregard the rest. You know, just listen to music you love. Anyway, so there's that. There's this, the bar. There's the, or you could even do a major 7th, F major 7th, which is just involving the first, second, third, and fourth strings are E, B, G, and D strings. And if you want, for security, reach up to the A. And you can, like I said, if your fingers are big enough, you can reach up enough into that E string to mute it. And do that with it. So you've got a couple different options with the F chord that you can do when you get to that F chord, depending on, are you playing by yourself, are you playing with a group, what's it sound like sounds best with a group. There. I'm not going to go into too many options with that C chord. There are other ways to make a C chord, but I think that open one is, A, it sounds like the record, and B, it's probably the easiest way to do it. First chorus. So we have some, I'll just play through it, and then we'll talk some more. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, that's a hard chord for me still. Okay, my ankle's starting to cry, and I'm gonna cry with it here in a minute. Keeps hurting. Okay, so Saturn has, okay, F chord. Saturn has a ring around it. You can never see it with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. Many moons know this to be true. Okay, so we go from an F to a C to a D minor, which is a new chord. Come on, camera. One camera, hard to do. So, or D minor. First string, first fret, or E string. Third string, second fret. And then I'm using my pinky for the second string, third fret, or B string. Okay. Okay, a little Beethoven there, not much, but some. But I am going to do is I'm going to reach up with my ring finger and mute my E and A for that D chord. Then a B flat. Now B flat chord is basically horrible. In terms of if you're playing the first three frets, you almost have no choice but to bar. That I'm currently aware of right now. I can't instantly think off the top of my head a way to do it other than going on the 6th fret, like you do your F, and you slide it all the way up to the 6th. So if you really want to get good at that F shape, do the B flat in the same shape on the 6th fret rather than doing the, I'm barring 1 through 5 on the 1st fret, then I have both my 3rd and 4th on the 3rd, and this finger can go up enough to mute this, or I can reach up with the middle finger and mute it. Either way, that way this finger can just concentrate on barring more, if that helps. And go to my G, which I can also do a G. Here's your F. Okay, if you're playing F, C, D minor, B flat, G, A suspended A, like you are, Saturn has a ring around it. that's an option if you want to practice that barring thing. Or if you want Saturn has a ring. Yeah, I don't like. It doesn't work so good. B flat. Tell you what, that's a mean chord. Not saying any bad words. So you can do some open things with that F. Definitely get away with the F, the G, and the A chord because they just same shape, different place. B flat, I would bar. I would bar, or I would bar down here. So yeah. So anyway, first chorus. I should have explained just the straight chord progression in the chorus, but I didn't. So F. Saturn has a ring around it. That D minor. You can never see it with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. Many moons knows to be true. A suspended. A. Then we're moving into another verse, which progresses the same. Same as the first verse, the same counts, everything, just different words. The second chorus also progresses exactly the same as the first. And we have a guitar solo, which plays the verse chord progression. So yes, yeah, to a T, I believe, actually, the way it counts out. So the guitar solo wise, it's weird. It's a weird sound that they use. I don't know what it is, how they get it. That's the genius of Skillet coming through there. The best I can come up with is a do some kind of octave thing. You're kind of singing the melody is in the solo. Okay. Whoops. And you could just have somebody going, some expert solo person. All I can think of is playing some kind of octave thing, and it's some kind of effects. And if you have somebody who has an effects pedal and likes to tinker and plays electric guitar a lot, it's probably you hand this to them. That's their department of expertise. Let them do it, or do it their own way, and be satisfied with your different expression of that song with what they do. So yeah, I'm not vastly, I can't just pull a solo out of my hat, so I'm not gonna, I was sliding up on one string when I should be, doing more, fretting and not having to be like everywhere like this when I don't have to. I know that, but I can't do that. So anyway, there's that. So you're just, as they're playing the solo, you're like, Saturn has a ring around it you can never see with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. Many moons we know this to be. And the same chords that I just did. And then we have a key change. It goes up a step. And now we're playing in G. Heaven has a ring around you. Angels sing a song over you. Heaven has a ring around you. Angels sing it all, and it's true. Heaven has a ring around you. Angels sing a song over you. And you could end it on an E minor like that. I was trying to get that part that's it's fading out. Chords, there's really multiple guitars going on. If you have a group and you have a guy, he's probably, your guitar guy's probably got his chorus on and he's going. Something like that. Something like that. It's probably more somewhere up here so it's easier to reach, and I'm not doing that 5 fret thing that I just did, which I managed to do. Good for me. But yeah, and you can, if you don't have that option, you don't have an electric guitarist, it's just you, lone guitar, strumming, you can kind of fake it with the kind of get away with it like that, and that's involves doing something like this, like and while I'm doing that there, this is happening over here, and the thing is following. I'm just hitting on the first and second, or E and B strings. I could palm mute it, or I could choose not to, whatever. That's just what I'm doing to sort of emphasize the effect that has. So now my guitar looks out of focus. So yeah. But if you have multiple guitars, this is a good one to kind of disperse the parts around like they are on the record, like most bands do, and they have multiple guitars to make more interesting and more diverse music, and to make a simple chord progression sound amazing. So you have options here, but here's your foundational chords and stuff is basically what I give you when I do this stuff, because I don't have an effects pedal with a loop option that I can play one thing and then play something else over it, and I try to explain both of those parts, and good Lord help me when I get to that level of guitar playing. Although that's also a lot of fun. So yeah, but there it is in its original key. I also keyed it down to A, so I guess I'll give you a quick little example of that, just for people who are of a lower voice range like myself. I keyed it down 3 steps. I also have a chart for that 3-step keyed down version of it here to look at, and I can email that to you if you want it. I have the latest version, I think. of Microsoft Word. It's definitely one of the later ones, so if you have an earlier version, it has to be a docx, I guess is what it is. And I'm sorry I don't have Google Documents like I should probably get, and I have 200 files that I don't want to have to fix on my computer if I send them to Google, or even the other one that other people use that I can't remember at the moment. Because every time I look at those, they chew them up, they compact everything. I'd have to reset everything. It's just sucks. So I'm stuck in my Microsoft Word rut, and I don't know when I'll come out. So, but if you're playing in A, instead of a you're playing a Saturn has a ring around it. You can never see it with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. Many moons know this to be true. Yeah, come on, Chord. Verse 2, second chorus, guitar solo. Heaven has a ring around. Saturn has a ring around it. You can never see with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it. You can never see with your eyes again. Heaven has a ring around it. The key change for that, we're going, since the choruses are in C, they'll jump up a step to D. So heaven has a ring around it. The angels sing a song over you. Heaven has a ring around it. You don't see it, no, that is true. Heaven has a ring around it. Angels sing a song over you. Heaven has a ring around you. You don't see it, no, that is true. You don't see it, no, that is true. You don't see it, no, that is true. So there's a really quick explanation of it in the key of A. And if you learn it in the key of A, if you capo 5 frets, you're back in D. So if you want to play it where somebody's playing down here and you're playing all the way up here, and for some reason that works, that's cool. You can do that. That would just look like and sound like this. I'm sorry, I screwed it up. Yeah. You can never see her with your eyes. Saturn has a ring around it, and he brings us to be true. So that's an option if you want two guitars that sound a little different. If you get both the key of D and the key of A charts from me, you just capo 5, so you're both in D, to play it both in D, but not to be playing exactly the same. So there's a few options there, lower key and a way to play it in D on the 5th fret. So anyway, this video is almost 40 minutes long. I hope you hung in there. Thank you if you did. Thank you very much. If you need to skip around in the video, that's the nice thing about these things, is if you can skip around. You don't have to listen every second of everything I say and still learn the song. So keep it up.